Hey everybody, how's it going? Yep, another car video. And yes, another Taurus. Anyone want to take a guess at what year this one is? I'll give you a hint. I've had two of them before. Yep, that's right, 2001 for anybody that's been subscribed for a while. Last time I had one of these was 2015. And what I sold that one for is more than I paid for this one. So here's the story. Not this past week, but last week, a guy that I work with, he asked me if I was looking for a car, and I was like, well, you know, not really, but I'll listen to what he's got to say. And he told me that his mother-in-law, who is 86 years old, no longer wants to drive. So she was looking to get rid of her car. I said, okay, what is it? And he said a 2001 Ford Taurus. I was like, oh. And then he said something about there being a coolant leak, and I was like, oh, well, she might as well just send it to the junkyard and get $175 for it. He said, okay. And I started thinking about it more and more. He had already told me the mileage, and thought about it more and more and more, and like, you know, I had to just take a look at it before she calls the junkyard. So I told him I changed my mind, I wanted to look at it, and he said, okay, and got everything set up for me. I went over and I looked at it, and it's got the same engine as my last one. I'll pop the hood and show you. I've got a cold. So, here we are, the Vulcan 3-liter V6. Nice and powerful. I think it's 150 horsepower, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've looked up the number. It's got a newer battery in it, but it's a never start, and of course this morning it didn't start. So I'll be replacing that at some point. I had the receipt to that. I lost it last night in the parking lot. It flew out of my hand. I'm so pissed. I tried chasing after it. It went into the street, and I said, that's it. Oh well. But I went and I looked at the car, and I checked everything over. I let it run for a while. I took it on a short drive, even though it wasn't registered. Don't tell the cops. And I brought it back and I said, you know, I can't tell if this has a coolant leak or not. But she said, oh, it does. I was like, well, in that case, I would really only feel comfortable offering you $300 or $400 for it. But I think if you put it at the end of the driveway with a for sale sign on it, you could get more for it. You just have to deal with people. And I went on and on and on, you know, trying to tell her to sell it for more money. And that, you know, somebody else should buy it. And then she said to me, $300, do you want it? I said, yeah, I'll take it for $300. And she said, okay then. Now, originally, her husband had bought the car back in 2001. It was April, I believe, and this one was manufactured in January of 2001. And I believe it was 2002 or 3 that he had died, and she took over the payments on it. I think it was, yeah, it must have been 2002 because she said she paid on it for 4 years, and the title said 2006, but look at that. 56,000 original miles. I've put almost 100 on it since looking at it. Boy, I need to clean this camera lens. So, that is the story about how I bought this car and I can sleep at night, because she said $300. Do you want it? So, I'm not worried. I had the cooling system pressure tested. They said nothing wrong. So I said go ahead and inspect it. It took inspection, no problem. The tires that were on it, they passed inspection, but I didn't trust them because I didn't know how old they were, and they had a lot of dry cracking all over them. So I just, like 2 hours ago, had these put on, and just with these tires, instead of the old Firestones that were on there, this thing drives way better. Normally I don't go for all-season tires, but these little treads here are very similar to that of a snow tire tread. So I figured they might be okay if I have to drive this thing in the snow. This was $366 to have the new tires put on. The cooling system pressure test and the inspection, that was $68 and change. So I've got like $740 into this car, and it's completely good to go. The rear struts have been changed. Now they don't look it, but they have been changed, because most of these suffer from saggy ass syndrome, as Mike likes to call it. And the thing's wicked clean. It's an LX. The other two that I had were an SE trim level. So this one's more of basic. You know, you just got cloth seats. These are in, I mean, the whole car's in really good shape. There's no CD or tape player, and there's nothing in the trunk for it. So it's just your base radio. I didn't get any of the receipts with the car. I thought they were in the trunk, but they weren't. She had a stack 1.5 inches thick of receipts from Midas from the last 5 years that she drove the car. Now, this sticker to me says, I mean, it says, you know, 2/16/17 that the oil change was due at the mileage of 60,892. I'm going to wait until that mileage to have the oil changed. But to me, that tells me that this car hasn't had an oil change since 2016, which it would have been October, because that's when her inspection sticker was due. And between because this had an old inspection sticker on it, the square ones, now we've got these rectangular ones. The old style inspection stickers in the state of New Hampshire are about the size of a Post-it note, and on the back of them the mileage is written. And it was either on the sticker or on a piece of paper that I had found in here. There was like 12 miles of difference between when the sticker was put on and when I was looking at the car. So that's her driving it home from the garage and pretty much backing it up and down the driveway to keep everything good, like what she was doing. So this was started every few days. This here is a journal that her husband had started when Oh, I don't think this is... Oh, okay, this has 2 car mileages in it. Because, the very beginning here, because the way he did it was, the date, the mileage, I think how many gallons of gas, and the price, or something like that. And this has higher numbers in it than what's on the car. But it lines up when you get to 2000. That's 2000. That's January 2001. So there's entries from the last car in here. That is, oh, yep, here we go, 4/13/01, new car, April 2001. That is awesome. So 18 miles, he put in 12.3 gallons, and it cost $18.75. 3 days later, at 529 miles, it took 10.7 gallons, and I can't read everything, but that is so cool. Wow. And this must have been, oh yeah, this must have been when she took over and started driving it. 2002. That is crazy. 12/7. I'm going to write 18 in there. 56096. 9.692 gallons, and it cost me $29.65. I'm going to keep this up as long as I have this car. That is wicked cool. That notebook has been in this thing all its life, pretty much. So, anyways, besides that, I haven't done anything inside of here to clean it. This is a very clean car. I probably should clean it. I don't think that back seat's ever been sat in. I might not clean it. I probably should, but I might not. At least not for now. I am going to wash it in a few minutes because it needs it. I'm going to do the windows on the outside, you know, the hubcaps, just all the paint. Excuse me, and hopefully it comes out good. So I'll show you a clip after I've got it all washed. Alright, so here we are, a ridiculous amount of hours later, and the car is washed, and I waxed it. Looks pretty good. It looks better than I did before I waxed it, but yeah, it looks pretty good. So I came to the conclusion too, as I was climbing around, like I couldn't reach the center of the roof that easy, so I had to like stand on all the door jambs. And the more I look, it's like, yeah, you know what, I gotta do at least a light cleaning of all the cloth surfaces in there, but I don't know, maybe if I just vacuum it out, that'll be good enough. But yeah, it looks good. So now what I've got to do is I've got to take out the trash that's over there, put all that stuff back in the bag, put that in the trunk, take the car out, put the Hino back in here, drive the car around to the side of the building so that I can then go in the break room and set up my computer and get this video edited and hopefully upload it tonight. Yoo-hoo! So yeah, it looks pretty friggin' good. I still can't believe that I did this for what I've done it for. And like I said, the tires, I wanted to put new tires on because that's like a more of a snow-friendly tread than what was on there. I know they're new versus the old ones. So, yeah. Anyways, if you like the car, give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.